Hey everybody, welcome back to 15 Good Minutes. Glad you guys are here. It's Coach B as always, and I'm here with the A-Team. JR, what's up, buddy?
Ain't nothing happening, man. Just hanging out around the
Freddie,
house.
how we doing, man? How's things in Dallas, Texas?
Hey, finished with my Christmas shopping. I just gotta mail stuff out.
If you guys remember, I think Freddie was a -1 a week ago. So are you saying you're 10 plus now?
15. I'm done. I just gotta mail everything out.
Oh man, I wish I could say the same. I'm at the exact same number as I was a week ago. JR, you making any progress?
I'm at a +1.
Isn't it? Wasn't that his number last week, Freddie? Wasn't he at a +1?
That's it. I'm still at that +1.
I'm like that, yeah.
I think it was the same number. JR, you got to make a little progress, bro. I mean, I can't talk.
Well,
I got to make
the other
progress.
things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just order them and have them sent. So,
but like when you saw what Freddie just said, Freddie got his stuff ready to mail.
I'm probably gonna get on that tonight or tomorrow, for real. Because I know the time for the delivery stuff is winding down. So
100%.
I actually understood Vern's point. Why when I sat back and thought, I just did gift cards my damn self, and I ain't doing it no more. You know, I understand.
This is it.
I understand it. I do.
We haven't talked about the association in a while, so I'm going to bring up. I just got a few topics on the NBA. I'd love to get you guys' opinion, on some people and teams and where they are today, and see if you are you buying into what you're seeing, or do you think there's something else there that we should all take a look at? I'm gonna start with you, Freddie. Is the Lakers seem to be doing okay? Anthony Davis is playing well. Is AD for real? Are you buying in on AD right now? And he's playing really well. Is he going to ride it out with him?
As long as he's healthy, I can say you can ride it out. But I would assume to your point, your question is ride it out. I'm assuming you're assuming if he's healthy.
Yeah, the availability thing, right? Like
you're right, the availability.
Yeah.
I think you can. I think if he's healthy and LeBron is healthy, I think they're probably good enough to be in contention for a play-in spot if they're healthy.
They've made a great turnaround from the beginning of the season because they look terrible. Yeah. But I agree. I think that they can make a turnaround. They can make it, but I think Westbrook is going to have to be a big part of the whole situation. Now Davis is the probably the main reason for the turnaround. Of course, I mean he's been playing well.
Looks really strong when he's playing.
I've always thought he had.
I just don't. I see him and I try not to get my hopes up because I worry about his longevity and will he be healthy enough. Going back to Freddie's point,
because he breaks. What we used to say, Russ, cotton.
Freddie is Pat Beverly a plus or a minus for those guys? Your opinion?
Minus. Why? Get him out of there. I just don't think he, what he's supposed to bring. Personally, I never thought he was a very good defensive player. I think he was a high energy guy that played with a lot of effort and intensity. I don't think he was ever really a very good defensive stopper. I mean, yeah, if you hustle and you play hard, yeah, you're going to make plays here and there.
I think Pat is a distraction.
Yeah.
I think he does stuff on purpose that makes him a distraction. Next up, JR, recently the Clippers beat Boston and Kawhi had like 25 points. Similar question. You don't see Kawhi and PG-13 playing a lot together. They did over the course of those games. Are you buying in on Kawhi? Is he, can you ride with him for the rest of this season? And do you think that the Clippers will go as far as his ability to play goes?
He was brought there, to win. He won in Toronto. He's a winner.
Yeah, but if you look in the dictionary right now and look up the term load management, whose picture you think gonna see when you open up the Webster's? He don't. Right, exactly, Freddie. And to the point, I think I looked this up earlier. Let me just double check it. So Kawhi's played now a total of 9 games.
Okay.
how and you see the result. I mean, Boston's a good team. They solid. Some say they're the best team. And when you had Kawhi and PG-13, Clips look good. But if you only playing one game out of 5, how does that help the Clippers advance?
It doesn't really help them in the long run.
I'm not questioning his desire, but I sort of kind of am.
Yeah,
he sat out all of last year. All of last year. And you know,
that's not good.
It's almost Christmas, and you played a whopping 9 games.
Wow.
Freddie, are you buying in on Kawhi?
I'm not buying into that.
I'm no.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm Steve Ballmer or whoever that GM is, I would go to a team and I would say, hey, you know what? I want to talk to you about something. And I would get rid of Kawhi while you have the opportunity. Because to your point, you playing one game in every 5. So basically, to me, what that says is basically we're okay with being
mediocre
42 and 42 or 41 and 41, making that ninth, what is it, 8, 9, or 10 spot or whatever.
They're in the 7. They're in the 7 in the West right now. Yeah.
I think, and don't get me wrong, it's not an indictment on Kawhi,
right?
His talent, but your availability. If you're legitimately injured,
yeah,
you can't be playing 1 out of every 5 because of load management. If that,
well, it's to me, it's more of the integrity of fulfilling that contract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I threw that out the window a long time ago, JR. He sat out the entire year.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this, Freddie, at the beginning of the year. We did that preseason thing. We're like, okay, for them to be legit, he needs to play 90%, I think was the number you gave, barring injury, 90% of his games. So if he's 100% healthy on day 1 of the league and is only playing once every 5 or 6 games, is that fear of getting hurt? What is that? And I think that's his normal. I think that's what he expects.
He's a great player. I think he's a Hall of Famer. But I think that I don't know if he has that desire to want to play. And maybe he doesn't have that desire because of the injuries and whatnot or what have you. So I think maybe he's just saying, if I can get by 1 out of every 5 and still collect this 40 million, 45 million, whatever they're giving me out here in LA, be around family, it's beautiful weather.
There was an incident recently. I'm calling it attempted load management. I thought it backfired. You had a situation where Trae Young tried Nate McMillan and lost and wouldn't come to shoot around. And, Nate's an old school guy, and basically said, okay, well then, you ain't playing. And they seem to have squashed it, but the stuff that I'm reading off the NBA wire says that there's still a little rough around the edges, and ultimately that Trae was trying to leverage the type of not to the extent that Kawhi does, but he wants that type of thing now, where he can just pick and choose what days he plays. Did you see any of that? And if so, what was your thoughts on it?
No, I didn't see it, but I have thoughts on it. You got to find a new team, because that's not how it goes. We pay you a contract. We sign a contract and you play. We don't go into the contract. It's like we were talking about people that want to sit out when the end of their contract is near and they want a new contract. Man, you ain't done with that contract. So you finish this contract and then we can talk about how many days you want to play and we'll adjust the money.
You talking about AD when he was in New Orleans. That's kind of what you described. And it worked for him. So the one thing I will say to you, though, JR, is, and I'm not endorsing what Kawhi does, but for Trae, you ain't won nothing yet.
No,
man.
Not a thing.
Kawhi has won something at that level.
2 years, 3 years. Yeah, he ain't got no time.
And I thought it was cool that that Nate held his ground and apparently had the backing of the ownership. Freddie, were you watching that situation at all? And if so, what were your thoughts on it?
I heard a little bit about it. And to your point, Trae Young, you don't have that type of cachet right now to pull that type of stunt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just don't, and you just don't. But you ain't even won a division title, a conference title. You still doing all. You talking about you don't want to play?
Yeah.
Man, go ahead on, man.
Looking at the Milwaukee Bucks, for me so far this year, I think that their super glue guy has been Bobby Portis. I think he's doing a ton of things for them. I mean, they're all playing well, but I give him my super glue guy. Have you seen them play? And if so, would you agree with me, or would you challenge that and give me somebody else for them?
Well, nope. I haven't watched a lot of their games, but I still think, like you just said, he's one of the guys that stands out. Everybody thinks of Giannis. You know what I'm saying? And
I like Lopez too, but
yeah, Lopez is a good center.
I think the glue guy. I mean, if you watch what Portis is doing, not just because he's a fan favorite. Freddie, have you watched them this year? And
I have.
Are you seeing what he's doing out there?
I'm seeing what he's doing, and the reason why I like it is because now you can give Giannis longer breaks if need be.
Yep.
Because Bobby Portis, I've watched him. I think he went to, was it Alabama or Mississippi or Arkansas, somewhere in the SEC. But I've watched his entire, and I always, even when he went to the NBA, he got to Chicago. I was like, it's something about him. I'm not saying he's gonna be a Hall of Famer, but he comes and he brings it, and he's getting better. And I think he's getting comfortable in that system, in that scheme. I would love to have him on my team. I'll put it like that.
Exactly. He that's why I label him the super glue guy, because he'll do whatever's necessary. Doesn't care about the press or being that guy. I think he values winning at a level where he knows and really understands what his role is and embraces it. Would you say that Brooklyn has settled in now? I mean, you look at how they're playing. I think they're playing well. Came here the other night, and took out my Wizards like it was nothing. And that's not,
without Ben, without.
Well, yeah, correct. We got some cats missing,
and that's the thing,
But
we don't know what Ben's gonna do if he ever does anything, and they're playing well. But I don't know.
You like what you're seeing when now that Kyrie's back? Maybe that's a better way.
Yeah, I do. But my whole thing is, and I'm not being funny, I'm worried about what does Kyrie do next. You understand what I'm saying? So
he's focused. I mean, I've only seen him a couple times since he's been back, right? I mean, he's playing hard. Doesn't look like. I always worry about guys like him though, because when you can be out that long for all these different distractions, he comes back in, it's like he doesn't miss a beat. Does he realize how talented he is?
Well, I would say the Brooklyn Nets are the equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL, in the NBA.
How so?
Meaning they on the surface, they appear to be a team that has everything that you need to win a championship. They have everything. They have it all. But where are they going to screw it up? Who's going to screw it up?
That's what Joe was just saying.
Who's going to screw it up?
If they're not Freddie, the equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys, and can be a no fooling threat. Say when we get to the All-Star break, when you're looking at Boston, you're looking at Milwaukee, and now you're looking at Brooklyn, it can make for a fascinating second half of the season. Okay, the one guy I didn't ask you guys about, real quick, yes or no, Freddie, beginning of the year, you said that we may want to keep an eye out on Zion. You happy with him so far?
You should be ecstatic. Number one in the West. Zion is healthy. He
lost weight too, didn't he?
A
little bit.
It looks like he may have dropped by.
I would have said yes, Jay, on week one, but I don't know.
I mean, when you can do a 360,
it don't matter.
Windmill. I mean, I don't know if too many 300-pounders can do that.
I just want the lad to be healthy. We saw how talented he was coming all the way up to school. He got hurt at Duke. He got hurt every year that he's been with these guys. I just want him to have a completely healthy year and see what happens, and see how that works out, because we're out of time. We can't talk about my guy John Morant and his team right now. But I like some of this young talent. I hope everybody stays healthy. We'll get another one of these deep dives in before the All-Star break. The one question that we're going to make for our question of the week this week, we're going to go back, to Freddie's point about Kawhi Leonard. Are you good with him playing with the frequency that he's playing? It's either one every 5 or 6, Freddie. I'm not sure, but it's lengthy. So I want to know from our viewers, are you okay with the frequency that that the Clippers are using Kawhi Leonard. Let us know if you are. Let us know either on Twitter at 15 Good Minutes or right here on YouTube.com/15 Good Minutes. JR, anything before we break, buddy?
Nah, man. I just want everybody to have a great rest of the week.
Freddie.
I just gotta wait for my wife I asked her to because I even bought wrapping paper. I said, can you wrap these for me? I said, because if I do it, it's gonna look sloppy and it's nasty. I said, you'll probably put more effort into it.
Yeah, we gotta get behind him. We slacking. I know he's gonna say all his stuff is mailed next week. We gotta catch up.
Oh, I will catch up. Yes, sir.
All right. Until that time, we'll see everybody next week. Thanks for rocking with us. Have a great week.